All right, people of the planet. Yes, Fine Music, episode 99. Not and a half, no, 99. And you might recall last time I was sharing four hard rock groups from, I guess they were from the 70s and the 80s to fulfill a need if there was one out there for alternatives to Van Halen. If you're not getting enough Van Halen. No. And so today I'm going to go in another area where I have interest, of course, is prog rock. And prog rock is pretty slim pickings, especially if you're a fan of 70s prog rock. Most of those bands are broke up long ago, haven't been making new music in decades. So hopefully this will get your fix today. Because definitely each of these four is reminiscent of one of your favorites. For example, Country Lane. Anybody heard of them? Country Lane came out in 1973. And really the story here is quite simple. Where's my story? Here is my story. It's on another pad. Country Lane, I wrote it down as it's a cross between ELP and ELP.
Wow.
So if you've been missing out on new ELP since 1994, you might want to check this out from 1973, Country Lane. It's got that ELP sound. I don't know why there's a rating on one of the songs. Maybe I double clicked by accident. That ain't no 5-star song. But that's about all I can say about Country Lane. I didn't research them, except for the fact they only had the one album. Because if they had more than one, I probably would have downloaded it because I want to make a complete CDR. But in this case, I paired them up. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to take away Country Lane if I can.
What's the rest of that title? The disgusting story of...
Oh. Yeah. All right. It's just a name. Can you're the Googler, man. Google it. Google it. You'll get the title from me in no time, faster than I can.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I could try to put the cursor over it, see if it reveals it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, I did for a second, huh? The disgusting story of Captain something. Captain. It wouldn't stay. With Captain something. Country Lane, Substratum. That's their four-part epic.
The disgusting story of the Captain Bloom.
There you go. No wonder I didn't remember it. Not that memorable, but the music is good, especially parts 1 and 2. The 7-minute parts are very good. 3 and 4 are kind of a aftermath, really. And the first song is really great. It's like the longer the song, the more they can do with it, keyboard-wise, which is where your ELP fans get their fix. I got mine from this album. Okay. Next up on the list. A band with half of a famous name. You can see me scrolling?
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to be sure. I'm heading to the H's. H. Whoa, went too far. There they are.
Hedgehog Pie.
Hedgehog Pie. Not Humble Pie, Hedgehog Pie. From 1975. Definitely the best song on this album is the longest as well, The Green Lady. And that is the song I heard first on YouTube and got my curiosity up about this band. In my notes, I said this band is like a cross between Jethro Tull and Jethro Tull. So if you're hankering for some Jethro Tull, 70s style, Hedgehog Pie will fulfill that need. Right down to the flute. Yeah, there's 2 short flute songs. It's the 4th song and the 6th song, Hunter's House, The Oak Tree, and Cool Reelies. Fabulous flute. And then there, Green Lady is sandwiched in between them. I made a compilation disc of these 4 bands I'm talking about today, put them on one CD, right? Pick the best tracks. So with this band, I went with 4, 5, 6. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention track number 8, Demon Merchants. That's a great song too. It's more acoustic, right? Jethro Tull has the folk side. So this album definitely has that folk side. So it's really tasty Tull-ish. Hedgehog Pie. And the best part
those
was,
guys, I'm looking at a picture of them. They're older than us.
well, yeah, come on. The album came out in 75. They got to be older than us.
I'm glad about that.
But
Makes me feel young
Hedgehog
again.
Pie fit perfectly with Country Lane on one CD. So I was very happy about that. I get my ELP and Jethro Tull fix on one disc. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. 2 more to go. 2 down. Let's see this next one. Oh man, they got a strange name. I clicked a little too hard. My laptop's getting old. Click once, sometimes you get 2 clicks. Going down to the M's. The very end of the M's, I believe. Yep, there they are. How's that for a name of a band? They're called Moving Gelatine Plates. No wonder they weren't a success. Or in this country, maybe, but I think they were successful in France. You'll have to check for me. Moving Gelatine Plates.
That's quite a name.
Means that their records will sell 3 times slower than who. I said that this group's a little more complex. They're kind of like early Yes with some Gong and even a little ELP. So their sound is more complex. And I would definitely recommend the first 2 albums. They kind of broke up after that and reunited decades later. The first album is self-titled. And it's laden with bonus tracks, right? You got 5 tracks in the album, 4 bonus tracks, which are equally as good. It's just as good, satisfying listening if you like the early guitar sounds of Yes when they had Peter Banks. And if you like Gong, their musical experimentation using exotic instruments, that is going on here as well. But definitely their best work was The World of Genius Han. I'm not sure about that last word. I'm just remembering it. Yeah, the World of Genius Hans. There it is in the song titles. So that's the epic. That is their great epic. 14 minutes, The World of Genius Hans. That's the song that turned me on to this group. And again, laden with bonus tracks thanks to CD reissue. So instead of just being 7 fitting on an album, they throw on 5 bonus tracks to make it more CD length, like around 60 minutes. Which leaves room for me to put on a couple more songs. Here, I remember Funny Doll was kind of strange. That was a good, strange song. So if you want, Gong weirdness, you're going to get that with this album for you early Gong fans. Strictly in terms of guitar, I'm saying early Yes, and there is some keyboards, but not a lot, not like with Country Lane. And of course, that not new, but their reunion album called Removing is almost as good, but it's more of a contemporary sound in the recording and everything. So it doesn't have that 70s flavor. Right, that's not a surprise, but at least it's competent. It's good to fill your CD with if you're doing a CDR like me, throwing a couple tracks from Removing. All right, and finally, on the other side. Oh my gosh, I got 2 more. I might be doing 5 here. This has been not too far away in the ends. And I'm not talking about Nectar. Everybody knows about Nectar already, right? I don't have to talk about them. I have to admit, this was my first dive into Nectar and I enjoyed it. I'll just briefly state for the courtroom, those 2 albums, Journey to the Center of the Eye and A Tab in the Ocean, total money, both of those albums. After that, it trails off. But those two, oh my God, you will be progly pleased. But more importantly, unknown to us, Nova. Have you heard of Nova? Sure you have, but not the band. This band, they made more than two albums, but these two albums, I like them because they are more of a jazz rock. And I can even pinpoint it particularly. They're like a cross between Supertramp and Steely Dan. How's that for a weird pairing?
That's a weird pairing.
Supertramp more with the vocals, and Steely Dan more with the instrumentation. These both of these albums are recorded. The recording is spectacular. The sound is spectacular, and I mean that in a Steely Dan kind of way. Such a rich sound coming from this group, Nova. I highly recommend it. Even the source where I bought these from is a little confused as to their categorization, right? Wings of Love is stated as prog rock, but the album that turned me on to Nova, Vimana, is listed as electronic. And that's probably because of the excellent sonics. And the song in particular that I heard was Night Games. And also Driftwood is almost as good. Those two epics, love them to death. The sound is spectacular. On the other album, Wings of Love, which came a year later, not up to the level of Vimana, but still very good. Probably because they didn't have epics that were as long. I think the best thing here is Beauty Dream, Beauty Flame. That's the closest thing to an epic on here. Inner Star has a lot of instrumentation. That's what makes it have that length. But they're just a very tight band, just like Steely Dan. The sound is spectacular. And then imagine that coupled with Supertramp vocals. Okay, there you go. That's Nova. And I have to throw in one more just so I can dump my load of progressive rock nobody knows. Zazu was on this list, but of course Zazu deserved an episode of their own. That's why they're already taken care of. But there's one more. Just so I'll be done with this. It's in the Qs. Now I have two Q bands, right? Maybe I mentioned them before. I remember saying a Q band and you said Queen. Remember, Jim? So maybe, did I talk about these guys already? They're called Q. Yeah, get to the Qs. There we go. They're called Quill. I don't know if I mentioned them. Quill, there we go. Wow. And this is more symphonic, right? You can tell by it's only 2 tracks. First movement, second movement. First movement is wonderful. Second track, almost as good. And it's an American band. Don't be fooled by the title. Sursum Corda, which is Italian, I understand. But it's an American band. These band in particular, what did I say about them? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why they're definitely worth lumping in here. They're like another ELP, only these tracks are much longer. So you're getting into the realm of brain salad surgery without the dynamic vocals of Greg Lake. These are instrumental. But it's lush keyboard. It would have done Keith Emerson proud. And so, give it a listen. You might like it. I only download what I like. And this I really liked. So I think there are some vocals in there, but the vocals aren't that memorable, like I said. The instrumentation, spectacular. All right. So just to sum up, I don't know if you're feverishly looking for these bands, but the 5 bands are Country Lane, right, for your ELP fix. Hedgehog Pie, for those Jethro Tull fans. Moving Gelatine Plates, I think most would be appealing to Gong fans. And Nova is, like I said, a cross between Supertramp and Steely Dan. You might even call it jazz prog. And finally, Quill, yet another ELP wannabe band from what year? 1977, my senior year. And Nova was 76 and 77, so they're all in the 70s. These are 70s prog rock, which I, being a man of a certain age, think was the greatest decade of prog rock. Prove me wrong. Do your own episode. All right, so that's 99. Any comment there before we say goodbye?
I can't get a translation from Italian to English on sursum. That's you.
Oh, no.
But
Oh,
I did
no.
get a translation from corda, and that means rope.
Rope. That makes sense. Corda, rope.
Corda, yeah.
Sursum. Yeah, that's the right spelling.
S-U-R-S-U-M?
S-U-R-S-U-M. Sursum
Maybe
corda.
it's somebody who's been knighted for his math skills.
Some kind of rope.
Good rope.
All right, so yeah, so if you're a prog junkie like me, these are fines, okay? Yeah, 99.